I've been in a hurry since I don't know when. Gotta bring it on back, start over again. Yeah, bring it on back to a nice old pace, the kind where a guy like me wins a race. Yeah, slow it on down. Take the time it takes to take a real good look around. Yeah, bring it on back to a nice old pace, the kind where a guy like me wins the race. Well, I got me a woman, yeah, she's better than most. Yeah, I get the space I need to really cut loose. Yeah, she slows it on down to a nice old pace, the kind where a guy like me wins the race. You slow it on down. Take the time it takes to take a real good look around. Yeah, bring it on back to a nice old pace, the kind where a guy like me wins a race. You slow it on down. Take the time it takes to take a real good look around. Yeah, bring it on back to a nice old pace, the kind where a guy like me wins the race. Yeah, slow it down. Slow it on down, guys. Good vibes on. Always good vibes. Always good vibes on to all of my beautiful people out there. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day. All right, all right. Good evening, everybody. A little bit of technical issues on the one side. I don't know why that my browser said that it wouldn't let the video play, but I apologize. Welcome to Creating Change Week in Review. Breaking news live week in review. Man, we got a bunch of stuff going on. We got the storm. I see you down there, brother Clint. We got the storm, and I think pretty much the easiest way to categorize it is everybody's going to get impacted by this storm. I think for us here in Virginia, here in the great Commonwealth of Virginia, we're going to be getting, like, depending on exactly where this thing ends up, we're going to be getting some snow, some real snow and ice and stuff. I see that. Bring on the snow. Yeah, brother Clint. Yeah, man, bring on the snow. I mean, what are you going to do about it? I mean, what do you ain't got no choice but to take it. It's coming no matter what. So, I was kind of making fun about, have you got your toilet paper and your milk and everything, but truth of the matter is that is kind of what you do. You're running out, grab your toilet paper, grab your bread, milk, or whatever snacks it is that you want, and pretty much you just hunker down and batten down the hatches, because you ain't. I mean, you can't keep it from getting to you. So, I just hope everybody's safe, man. Got all their firewood and ready for the long haul. Just do what you got to do to get by, and take your time if you got to be out on the roads and stuff. And if it looks like you probably shouldn't be on there, then don't be on there, man. You know, don't be on there. But this is supposed to be a good one. This is supposed to be a good one, guys. I'm not, I'm not one to. I don't really know exactly how bad it might be, but they say it might be a pretty good snow for a lot of people, and a lot of people that's getting snow that don't normally get snow. So, that makes a difference when you're in an area where you're not, accustomed to having it, or you don't have all the salts and things like that that you got, that you need, and that we have in areas like this. So, shout out to everybody. My name is Guy. Welcome to Creating Change. I appreciate y'all being here. If you're out there and you see me, then chime in, say hi. Everybody's welcome, man. We're going to be talking about I just wanted to touch on this snowstorm. There ain't much that I can say because I ain't no weatherman or nothing. I just know it's going to be cold and it's going to be bad. And I hope everybody stays safe. I know here in Virginia where I'm at, I know it's supposed to get bad. And here on my little mountain, uh, best bet's just to have your stuff ready and be kind of prepared. You ain't much you can do to fight it. You can't keep it from coming at you. So, yeah, man, just allowing it to happen, and being comfortable with that. I know some people don't, they can't just go with it. They got to get out in it, and depending on the circumstances, I get it, man. But if you got any way of staying home on this one, I think your best bet's to uh you know maybe just chill on out for a day or two and just enjoy the fam if you can. uh I see you down there, Clint. He says I got a ham in the free. Hey, ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. That's right. That's right. Have sandwiches all weekend. And hey, that's. I mean, in my personal opinion, I mean, you might as well make it something enjoyable. I mean, make some snacks, kind of prepare if at all possible, and and just ride her out, man, and just be safe. Anyways, here's a brownie. Let's see. Let's see. Average. I don't know how to say your name. I'm just gonna call you Average. Anyway, here's a brownie recipe. All right. All right. Well, I mean, if that's a real recipe, anyway, here's a brownie recipe. Here's a brownie recipe. 4 eggs, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 3/4. Sounds easy enough. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Average. We appreciate you chiming in, man, or woman. I'm just saying that, and just addressing you. But I don't know if you're a man or woman. I don't know all that. But yeah, thanks for leaving that for us. We appreciate that, and that sounds like it'd be pretty easy to fix. Um, my wife does pretty good with snacks. I had to kind of ban her from making any more fudge for me for a little while. I had to set my foot down, and I'm sure that's why she quit making it, was because I told her not it. Man, it's good though. Good lord. She had done made 3 or 4 different rounds of it, and if it's there, I'm gonna eat it. So the best thing to do is just not have it there, especially that peanut butter fudge. Oh, good lord, good lord. And that now I see why they'd only have at it only have that stuff around at special occasions, because that stuff is deadly good. It is awesome. But yeah, shout out to you, Average. Welcome. My name is Guy. This is Creating Change. Here we try to, just good vibes, and we talk about a little bit of everything. But and I may not see things eye to eye with others on certain things, but that for me just means we got room to grow with each other and learn. Um, you know, uh, try to keep a fair minded approach to everything. I know tonight, as we talk about the protest, I just like to bring, these are things that's happening that mean something in our country, and there's two sides, and there's three and four and five different sides, and I try to take the look at it from just an average man, because I ain't no doctor or lawyer or Indian chief or anything special like that. I'm just a fellow that lives here in the United States and cares about my country and the people that's in it. And taking all that into consideration, there's always going to be, conflicting sides. My biggest issue with all of it is you know, I don't find room in my life for calling names and being nasty or you know coming at somebody as if they're evil or something. I don't believe any. I don't want to believe that in my heart about any of them. I don't want to believe that about, just because they don't see eye to eye with me. Don't necessarily mean that I don't find that evil. The reason why people come, I think, at people sometimes, it's a defense mechanism. Your brain is wired to defend you. So if ill advised or uneducated or a splattering of both, that's how people are going to come at you. They're going to call you a name. They're going to try to throw you out of your thought process there. And I just make that kind of like a rule of mine. Like, if I'm going to talk to somebody about a topic, or I'm going to speak on a topic, then I try to keep from calling people. I don't want to call nobody name. You start a debate out or a conversation about anything out by claiming something is evil. Well, if it's evil, then I cast that out. I don't even want, no, I don't even want that in the room. So that that that's just taking, that's giving yourself too easy of an escape like that. I think you need to look a little farther, in my personal opinion. So, as we talk about these topics, just always know I come to people with good vibes. I'm not calling. I'm calling it what I can see with my own eyes, what I can visibly look at and say, man, I don't think that that's I don't think that that's I don't think that's kosher. Like some of these protests, like I've got to say, like what I've been watching and seeing here in the last little while. Now that's starting to look more like a real, a respectable demonstration of our rights. That's your right to do that. But there's a way to do it, and as soon as something starts getting thrown or then I'm sorry for the group, but everybody's got to lose in that situation. Like, you got to bring some order to this stuff. And and I call it out on the law enforcement side too, like and the leaders and stuff in them areas, or the representatives in them areas, ones that's supposed to be leading. Like, there should have been better cognizance of the situation and what could happen to somebody. You know, you put people in you got officers and people out there in high stress situations anyway, trying to catch really bad individuals, which they wouldn't even have to be there to catch them if they would just let them pick them up at the jailhouse. I know they sure as hell let them pick me up if I was out there. They wouldn't just say, okay, well, you go on. No, they'd be sending them to get me, so I don't understand why that's even an issue. Like, if they've been, convicted of a bad crime and they're supposed to be picked up from out there at the jail, let them pick them up. Sanctuary city, that's just saying we invite lawlessness, man. I mean, whatever that even means. Like, you got to keep your people safe first and foremost. You got to make people want to be there. Otherwise, you screwed up right out the gate. Hey, I see you, Luke. I see you. Welcome to you. I appreciate you being here. Howdy. I see you. Fudge band. Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, man, the fudge is outstanding, especially, if made to your liking. For me, she puts the amount of peanut butter. I like it heavy with peanut butter, and just, I like it. So yeah, ban the fudge, man, because if there's anything out there in the world that causes diabetes and gives you a direct line to it, that's it. It's the fudge. Yeah, that's how you get it if you want to know. But anyway, yeah, man, shout out to everybody being here, man, as we get started. Once again, just stay safe if you're, because it seems like the whole it'd be easier to name who isn't going to be affected by this snowstorm that's coming in on us uh this week. I think it's Saturday here. It's supposed to start hitting Saturday evening. So, man, it's my understanding that there's a big old swath of people, big old swath of the country getting ready to get swooped in on with that. So just, pray everybody's safe, sending out good thoughts and prayers and just good vibes. I hope y'all can just hunker down and stay safe, stay at home if possible. If not, then just be mindful. Oh, peanut butter, you don't yeah, I like peanut butter, man. Peanut butter fudge. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't like both kinds of fudge, but I'm a heavy peanut butter fan, fudge eater. It's borderline addiction. I ain't gonna lie. Uh, I I like it. It's good. And yeah, that's why you're only supposed to have fudge at like Christmas time and like Thanksgiving time or something, maybe. Being able to have it just any old time, that's just not good for the scene. Just ain't good for the scene. It's good for eating, but ain't good for the diabetical coma you might wind up in after eating pounds of it. But yeah, man, it is really that good. But that's what I hope everybody does is make you some fudge, make you some snacks, get you some stuffed and cook you some beans, or do like brother Clinton did, get you a ham going and just kick back and enjoy the scenery, enjoy the snow. I know you're supposed to be getting hit where you're at, Clint, with some stuff, and from what I could tell on the weather channels, it looked to me like we were right on that ledge of the ice and snow stuff. So it looks like we're looking at like 12 to 18. That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that's what it said. I know that sounds unbelievable, but I'm pretty sure that it like in our little area, it's like 12 to 18 possibly. And then, because we're right there where we're at in the Commonwealth there, you know, where we fall in at, man, we're right on the line. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But either which way, whether we're not on whether it's what difference does it make? Once it's like 6, 8 inches at that point, for us, we're kind of where we're gonna be once it gets to that point anyway. And if there's ice, you're kind of where you're gonna be anyway. So I'm not sweating, or stressing it a whole lot, man. I just hate it for those that do have to be out in it, and it's gonna cause I'm sure that it's gonna cause a big, bunch of work for the DOT trying to keep up with it, and the law officers trying to keep up with the traffic and all that kind of stuff and wreck. I just hope everybody just stays off the road. No wrecks, no nothing. Just everybody just be cool. And then yeah, man, I gotta say that the little bit that I was looking at some stuff uh talking about the protests here, man. You can see this is from BG on the scene there, where he's at. I think it's where I found this at, and it looks to me like that, man, it's pretty calm. And that I mean, I don't know what they're saying. I'm not listening to the sound or anything because they're probably, man, you don't ever know if they're cussing and acting ignorant and stuff. So I don't even want to hear it. But it looks to me like at least they're at least nobody's tackling nobody or running at nobody, and they're not in the street. That's something that we got to remember. We do have rights to protest. We have the right to do that. We have the right, but we're not supposed to be blocking off, emergency streets and stuff like that. And look, I mean, it seems like this looks pretty ruly to me from just where I'm standing. I mean, of course, he's got to flip the bird while I say that. Come on, man, you don't have to do that. And that's the thing, guys, that I just keep pointing out is these guys that's enforcing immigration laws. You heard the key word in that sentence. They're enforcing the laws. So that means they're just minions in the big cycle. they're not the ones that they're not the ones that get to decide whether a law is made to be, you know, enforced or not. So guys, I mean, just remember that as we protest, are you really sending your vibe in the right direction, because they are Americans too. These people that you're throwing stuff at and claiming that you hate and that they're all these bad things. No, man, they're Americans too. So I just encourage you, be respectful, man. Hey, what's up, Elevated? I see you. Yeah, we were just touching on the protest again. This looks pretty reasonable. I mean, it beats the heck out of what we have seen, from people. And I can this looks pretty ruly to me. Like, that looked pretty whoops, that looked pretty reasonable. Whoops, sorry about that. But I was just looking through the YouTube there and found that one. That was the first one I came to. But that seemed like a pretty reasonable protest to me. But some of that stuff we were seeing last week, that's not reasonable. I don't care what your cause is. And then going in that church house, guys, come on, man. There ain't no way that nobody in their right mind can get down with that, even if you're not a religious kind of person. I'm a Christian man, but I'm not the kind of dude that's going to try to beat you up with a Bible or nothing. And, but I do feel like that the church house and stuff, no matter for whose sanctuary, no matter what denomination or what you are, no matter what, I think that should not be somewhere that we go in and interfere with those folks. I just don't think that's right. I think that was ignorant, and I'm sorry, but for those of you guys that scared guys, we just had people, we just had that kind of incident happen at a church house and stuff. And the fear on people's heart, that's not right to do to people. And there was some of you guys like Don Lemon, he knew better than that shit. He knew better than to do that. That ain't right. He knew better than to go in there. That was intimidation. That was very intimidating. And he's I just that would be a silly move. I would venture out to say it would be very ill advised and a silly move to pull that kind of crap, at least here in this part of the world. I just don't think that would float. You would meet great resistance, come in disrespecting a sanctuary like that. And I commend that young pastor and the people that was in that church for not losing their cool and not doing anything dumb. Because that would have startled me. That would have startled me, man. Like, you know, watch out for flying hymnals, man, because I'd have been thrown. I mean, like, man, oh, let's see I mean. Let me go over here in the comments. I got my buddies over here. Shout out to brother Clint at Gen X Effect. If you haven't been to see him, I encourage y'all to go check him out. He does live stream and other stuff, and him and Miss Amanda do a show and everything. So y'all go check him out. And we got Elevated Einstein. Shout out to you, and shout out to let's see who else. It was Luke and Average. I see y'all there. Appreciate you guys being here. Shout out to you too. Elevate said, "How I put my family in that situation, I'm gonna have to ask for forgiveness." I know, man. I know, man. That's how I feel about it too. Elevated Gen X. Could you imagine that would go down if that was done in Muslim? I know, and that's what I'm saying. Is we've got to treat this fairly, and the way to do that is to look at it from all sides. Like, you scared some young people. There was some older folks in there that did not deserve that. I, that wasn't right. And I don't care if there was other stuff going wrong on the other side. Two wrongs don't make a right. Let's go back to kindergartens. Let's go back to there and start from there if need be. Whatever it is that carries us forward. But that is not right. And you're still yet. My whole point is you're not directing your anger at the right people. Like those cops and border patrol, they're doing a job. It's your elected officials and those people that you need to go talk to. So that's the ones seems like you need to direct all your attention, or a lot of your attention, most of your attention, towards them, and not towards these people that's just trying to. And you are making it more difficult by following these people around to areas where they're trying to arrest some pretty bad people, guys. You don't know these people. You're calling them your neighbor, but you don't really know who these people are. And where was you when you're not doing that for any of your other neighbors that commit a crime and have a warrant. I'm only seeing it for this. So you need to stop following them dudes around. That's why you can't be putting men and women in those situations. And then you have protesters and people that take it too far. And it's just that it's terrible things happen that way. And it started, hey, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't impede them men and women while they're trying to do their job. You can't do that. That's not right either. Especially when they're not the ones that get to pick and choose, what they get to do. They're doing a job. They're no more important. They're no more important than the janitor at the schoolhouse. That'd be like the janitor going to the school, working out at the schoolhouse, right? And he gets a call out over loudspeaker, and little Johnny got sick in class, and he threw up on the floor. And then janitor comes strolling in, and he's got his mop and his bucket and his sprays and all that. And he comes in and starts cleaning it up, and then you start getting on him about him cleaning up the puke of somebody else doing. He's there to clean up the mess. You're barking at the wrong person. Maybe you should have told Jerry not to eat all them bowls of Captain Crunch before he come to school, and then stand on his head and stuff. So it's like you gotta put your attention to the right people if and this ain't, doing it out there on the street and impeding them in their stuff. That's not right. Do it out on the street like I've seen these people doing earlier, like we've seen some of what we've seen going on earlier, like that. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Like that is fair. That seems like a respectable. I don't know what they're saying. Don't give a flying crap. But that looks like a respectable gathering to me. To me, that looks like what you would call a reasonable. That's a reasonable protest. I don't see nobody throwing nothing. I don't see nobody chasing no cars down. I don't see none of that. So that seems to me like that we got you gotta push that. That's at least a reasonable. I still think you're directing your attention at the wrong people. It's not them that make the laws. You got to go to the ones that make the laws, but whatever. That's reasonable. Then you have an ex-journalist. See, you have an ex-journalist barging in, videoing without ever ask permission. I know. And then having the audacity, old Don Lemon, having the audacity to tell that man not to touch him, but yet he's standing within inches of this dude's face, wanting answers and clutching his pearls. And this dude is trying to run his congregation, make sure that his people's okay, while Don Lemon wants to give him his version of the Bible. Well, I'm sorry, Don, but just from the outside looking in, it don't appear to me like I'll expect myself to be looking to you for any type of leadership in any type of way, especially not if it has the Holy Bible included in it. But without that being said, just by you being not reasonable enough to know that you shouldn't be going, and I don't care what you think, you shouldn't be going, and you've been you've been a supposed journalist for a long time, and you knew better. You knew better. I don't care I don't care. You just know that that ain't even right. That ain't even right. Going there looking dumb. You look dumb. And that guy walking around screaming in people's face, looking dumb. Looking dumb. The bearded man. Like, come on, man. That's about the, that's what I'm saying. That's the kind of unreasonableness that there's gonna have to be some people that, I'm sorry, it seems to me from my point of view, there was a couple that sure did seem intimidating. And from my point of view, every one of you should have some type of civil uh crime that you pay for that. That was dumb. That was really damn dumb. And for those of you that was intimidating people and rolling up in people's face and kind of barricading stuff, guys, with all the mess we've got going on with people doing silly stuff and shooting stuff up and doing dumb stuff, you can't do that to people, man. And then they'd be the very ones clutching their pearls if somebody did get hurt. Man, you can't do that to people. You scare people, and anybody in here, any grown man in here, I know Elevated could definitely vouch for it, and Gen X too. A scared man is a dangerous man or woman, because your brain is going to kick in to fight or flight. And for those of us that can't run, won't run, then that means it comes out and fight. And, you know, when you feel like that your life is threatened, you fight a whole hell of a lot different than when you're just, kind of playing around with your buddies out on the schoolyard and blacking each other's eyes. Now, in a situation like that, you don't know what them people have on their minds. So you gotta tighten that up. Whoever your so-called representatives are should be coming and sitting down in their district and having open forum meetings and letting everybody know that ain't gonna float. They'll personally come get you for doing that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff, we gotta have more respect than that. That's what separates us from other countries, is the fact that we respect certain things, and respecting people's sanctuary and where they're practicing their religion, no matter what type of religion mosque or church or whatever it is, whatever place of worship, that's to be left alone. That's not to be messed with. And no matter what anybody else has done, two wrongs don't make a right in that situation. And I don't care what any of you have to say about that. That's not the way to do it. And figure out a better way. The better way would be to go appeal to your representative that you want that law changed. You know, the better way to do it would be to stop, putting you're putting this clutching of your pearls and morality ahead of what's reasonable. Get the chomos and the killers and the rapists and the stuff like that. Get them off your streets. And if your sheriff and mayors and governors would just allow things to happen at the jail in a controlled environment, then 99.9% of this we would never even see. The only reason why you see this chaos happening is because of the lack of working together. They're working against each other. And it's inherent that you're working against each other when you won't even allow properly deported or criminal people to be picked up just because you don't like the federal government. Man, you're still part of this country. Just because you won't call that a sanctuary city does not mean that you have the right to just separate from the whole country. Like everybody doesn't feel like that. Like you don't have that. That's not the way it works. Uh, you cause this kind of chaos and stuff. When a lot of these people, you wouldn't even see these agents there. They wonder why. Well, why is all these agents here? Okay, well, the agents have to bring in forces to defend themselves from the people that's trying to get to them, to block them and impede what they're doing. They got to bring in extra because the element of surprise and go get them is over. And they got to bring in all this because they won't allow them to just pick up these heinous individuals out there at the jailhouse. They turn them loose on your guys' streets. And then as for this fraud stuff, you got this fraud going on. Everybody all up in the wind acting like it really matters. And well, where were you? Where were you a couple months ago when you could have identified it and you could have took the steps it takes to fix it? Now everybody's mad at the persons that's trying to fix it, but I don't hear nobody talking crap about the people that was stealing from you. Like they're the ones that messed it up for everybody, not the people that's trying to fix it. At what point do you point the blame at the right people? The ones to blame are the ones that was ripping us off. I don't care what their nationality is. Don't matter to me. If you happen to be an illegal, if you happen to be a black or brown person, well, okay. So if you did wrong, then you did wrong, and it doesn't make anybody a racist to say that. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people caught up in it of all different kinds. That just happens to be the one that it sticks out like a sore thumb, guys. It sticks out like a sore thumb when you got billions involved. I mean, you're talking about big old numbers, and I'm glad that it's getting fixed. And I hate it for those that are having trouble figuring out how to pay stuff. But it's a good chance for you to tighten up on your record system too. And it's a good chance for you to help hold those people accountable that actually committed the fraud instead of facing all of your attention at the people that's fixing it. It's got to be fixed. It's got to be fixed. All the money that's going out that is fraudulent and not accounted for is too much, guys. I don't know what the right fix is. That's way above my pay grade. But what I know as well that not doing nothing ain't working. Like we were getting took advantage of all the way around. And shout out to Mr. Trump for putting it out there and trying to make some kind of deal with Greenland. There's nothing wrong with that. There's been other people try to make a deal. And from what I understand, he's got the framework of a deal worked out. And guys, there's only like 50 some thousand people there. So they obviously could not defend themselves. So, I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. It makes perfect sense that we have some type of real legitimate strength there because that's going to be part of the defense system for us and they're in our hemisphere. Um, but I'm sure that there's got to be a way to work it out where they see that benefit as well. I don't know how that works, but there's got to be a way. And we do need to protect it because they couldn't protect themselves. There's not enough people, just by number. There's not enough people to protect themselves there. Oh, right. I see you, Aaron. I mean, I see you. It says it's protected by NATO. Well, they ain't done a very good job with their own spot over there, from the way I see it. And I kind of agree with Mr. Trump. I don't know that they would come to our aid like we come to theirs. Like you look at all the millions and millions and millions of dollars that we've spent to help them on that side. It's in our hemisphere. It makes sense if you think about it. From just like if you took the names off of countries and Orange Man Bad out of the situation, right? If you cleared your head and thought about it from a game system and you got this world game that you're playing and you're like, okay, I got this spot over here and I got these people that are my enemies over here that don't like me. And this is a main shipping route and this is a main area and there's not enough people here to defend off this here and keep this safe and open, then yeah, I see it from that side. Now, I don't know all the legalities. Like I say, I don't claim to be a lawyer or anything special. Just looking at it from my standpoint, where I'm sitting at, it's like it does make sense from a security standpoint. You know what I mean? It makes perfect sense. I know we're part of. I get that the NATO thing. I get it, but I also I also get that NATO has a lot of work it needs to do over there in their spot, you know, and it would certainly behoove us to make sure we had control that. It's over here in our hemisphere. Like that's right there, you know. So I just look at it from that spot. They couldn't defend themselves. There's not enough people there. It's in our hemisphere. It makes sense. Now, how it works out, I don't know. I don't know. And everybody's always going to say, well, what about the fraud that this one's committing? What about the fraud? What a blanket statement to me. Without any kind of meat on the bone, what a blanket statement to me. You know, like I can see it doesn't matter to me what it has to always come to what about this? What about that? Let's just look at what's at hand. The billions of dollars that we've identified already. I don't care about what side it comes from. Don't matter to me. It's wasted money. Like that is wasted money. Well, the way I look at it is it's like this. If it was so well defended, I don't think that you would have the worries of encroachment that are out there. And, to build our golden dome and to be able to defend our hemisphere from missiles that will fly directly over that particular spot, I mean, it does make sense. Like it makes sense for us to have some major control over. I don't know about ownership. I don't know if I agree with that or not. I don't know if I care about that part. But I do know that we do need to have some type of control. We're the most powerful force in the world. So it's in our hemisphere. Stands to reason if we're going to spend all that money all the way across an ocean, we should be defending that right there. Like we should be defending that right there. There should be it should be cut and dry. And that kind of automatically deters China, Russia. That keeps those at bay there. I'd like to think that the Greenlanders could just be there. Like I wish the world was that way where it wouldn't even matter. It didn't even matter. That ain't the way it is. With those shipping lanes starting to open up and the ice starting to pull back and there's going to be freed up lanes come through there in a few, it's an important strategic spot. Even though it's a big chunk of ice, it's an important spot, man. And from just my angle, not being a lawyer or doctor or Indian chief, I think that it makes sense from that angle. And they said they got a framework of a deal worked out. So we'll find out. We'll see. I just say stop clutching your pearls and stop trying to find a morality show and masking what's put right in front of your face, no matter what side I don't care about that. If there's fraud, I want all of it to be gone. But right now, it sure doesn't seem to be sticking out in the billions right in front of us from that particular area. Now, I hope they find it in all the areas and squash it. But right now, the attention is being brought to there, and I'm glad of it. And the fixes ain't always pretty. Any of you that's ever been a parent or are a parent, you know exactly what I mean by that. all fixes ain't pretty. And sometimes some of the best ways to say I love you is to say no. And, this is one of them instances where I feel like we're at that point. Like enough is enough. Enough is enough. I don't know. I don't know exactly where it's all coming from. I don't know who's doing what. It to me, it just looks like a way for everybody just to throw a morality shield in front of what's actually going on. It's like, like I'm sick of the orange man bad shit. Like it gets old, man. Like that dude's gonna be out of office. He trolled the hell out of all of them with that 28 stuff, and it was funny, but it's like everybody knows that he's done. Everybody knows it's not about him. You've given him so much power by doing that. It's sickening to me. It's like just because somebody, thinks differently or has a different opinion of how something should be done doesn't make them evil, doesn't make them all this. It doesn't. It just doesn't work. That's not the way it should. It's not the way it should work. It's not. It's such an escape. It's like, okay, all right. Well, if there's fraud there, I hope we get that too. What about let's just clean up what we see? We've identified that. Let's get it done. Sucks to be the ones that have to pay that maybe didn't have nothing to do with it. But don't be mad at the people that's got to clean it up. Be mad at the ones that defrauded us. That's stealing from you. Carrie, you want to call him your neighbor? Well, I'd be calling the law on my neighbor if he's out here trying to steal my weed eater. Well, they're out here stealing from us in the name of helping kids and old people and transportation. Well, stop with clutching your pearls and your big morality shields with, you're racist and it's because they're this or they're that. Man, I don't care. I personally don't care. And I don't think anybody else does. I think that's I think that's been like, you're kicking a dead horse at this point. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, man, please watch with the language, man, in my comments. I don't care what you say, like, but be a little bit more creative with your vocabulary. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me to take you seriously when you spend that much time to write some old foul stuff. You know what I mean? Come on. You know? You know what I'm saying? I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I love my kids. I love children, yeah, in the most honorable sort of way. And that's just, that's nasty. That's nasty. Sure, I don't care. I don't care what files he releases. At this point, it's still another dead horse. It's like you still talk about all these files. It's like, okay. I mean, I can't, I don't have no, we personally, I don't have no control over what they can release. I sure release them, release all of them. Everybody hides behind that it's gonna, it's gonna damage the victims. I personally feel like that at this point, I mean, release them. But if it's truly gonna protect one of the victims, then if that's true, then okay. I don't know what the right thing to do is. But it's like we got other things too. We got other things to worry about, like we've been going over that. Why didn't Joe and them release them too? Like I have the same question. Like I always wondered, like, why wasn't this stuff like already? Like I'm kind of sick of all the hiding in games myself, you know? And you just don't know that. You say that, but you don't know that. You just don't even know that. You make these statements, but it's so uneducated and it's so ill advised. And just because there was people that happened to hang around certain people or might had a picture taken beside them, that doesn't make them part of no big conspiracy. Like their lives shouldn't be ruined. And you know that. You're just trying to create an argument because it's, apparently that's what you like to do, but I mean, it's no argument. You kind of complete it for yourself. It's like, but I don't have no control over it. And of course, release them if that's what it will make you feel better about it. But that's just your arguing point at this level, at this particular time. I wasn't even speaking on that. So apparently you're uneducated on what I was talking on, and you want to bring up this, and you want to put foul stuff in my comment section and accuse me of some stuff and act like you want to have a serious conversation. Let's look and see if you got any content. Let's see if you're just a keyboard warrior or if you're an actual creator. Let's see. See what you got going on here. See if we can find anything. Because we like to do that, you know what I mean? Let's see who Aaron is. Oh, see, he's one of them ain't got no content. He's but he'll come in your stuff and talk all kinds of stuff, but he don't have no content. So we got a warrior right here, keyboard warrior, guys. So keep an eye out. Don't even know me and come in acting stupid like that. So this is a keyboard warrior, guys. They have zero content and just enough time in their day to be in a chat room that they don't even have to be in. Like, if you got so much disdain for the conversation, move on. Don't accuse people of doing stuff. I mean, you mean you just don't have the nerve? You're just a keyboard warrior. Look at you. That's fine. I mean, but now my community identifies and knows exactly what they're dealing with. So, I mean, we appreciate it when people put themselves out there so we know exactly how to treat them. Because the conversation is about fraud, and it's well, what about Trump's fraud? Well, what about this fraud? What about that fraud? Guys, at some point, we've got to identify something and do something. Can we agree that something has to happen besides identifying? Besides just saying, oh, well, right there's one, and then no, something got to happen. My message is don't blame the people that's cleaning up, blame the people that's stealing from us, and let's get that crap fixed so that the right people can start getting the money again, and the right money. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. Well, shout out to you. I mean, we're proud of you. We're proud of you. You know what I mean? Like, uh, they have a real job too, guys. So I'll clarify. They're not only a keyboard warrior, but they also have a real job too. So thank you for clarifying that. We appreciate it. Now, if you want, you can move on. Once you start cussing and calling me names in my comment section, it's hard for me to take you seriously. You see what I'm saying? Because I didn't call you no names. I didn't do that to you. I don't know you. You don't know me. So, you can just be gone. You can just go, or you can just keep wasting your time, whatever. Because we all know that you're a joke at this point, and you're hiding behind the fact that you don't have no content and no way to see who you are. See, I'm brave enough to be on here. You're not. So we know, and we don't mind to point them out. Right here's a keyboard warrior named Aaron M4517. We see you. We appreciate you being here. See, you're giving me watch time right now, thinking that somehow you're bothering me, but actually you're helping me get a few more minutes in because I'm done at 10. So you've really helped me, and I appreciate you giving me some watch time. And I don't mind you saying anything to me, but I don't like the foulness in my comments because I do have parents. I do have people in here. I have my parents. I have friends and stuff, and we don't get nasty about stuff, and I don't do that kind of stuff to people. So, um, yeah, 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 we see you. Look at them. See, you know that you're winning the argument when somebody has to call you names, guys. So let's take this person, Aaron, as an example. Let's use them as an example. Now, I hadn't called anybody any names, hadn't put anybody out on Front Street like that. Hadn't said anything nasty about anybody, just asking some questions and talking about how I see it, and they have enough time in their day, the hard worker that they are, to come in somebody else's stuff and start off with calling them names. You know what I mean? So it's like, It's hard for me to take you seriously at this point, Aaron. So have a good evening. We appreciate you. No, I see you there. I see you there. I mean, you're welcome to your own opinion. If you feel like that you don't want to support Israel, then that's fine. I mean, that's fine. But for you to make that call as a nation, there's a lot more stuff goes into just deciding, well, we don't support. Okay. There's national security and other things involved in that that is above my pay grade. And I don't think that I have any business making that decision. Now, if you personally don't want to, then I say that's your call. You know what I'm saying? That's your call if you don't want to support it. I'm all about that, man. Um, that's that's cool. You know what I'm saying? You are 100% right, our keyboard warrior, and I never claimed that. I never claimed that I was right. I was giving my personal opinion and made that very damn clear, didn't I? Very clear. Wasn't calling nobody names. Now you come in my chat calling me names, using nasty language in my chat. I didn't do that to you. Even ask nicely. Let's not do that. I don't call. And so it's hard for me to take somebody seriously when they start out calling me names, and then you're not a content creator. So apparently, that's all you are, is a keyboard warrior. And it's okay to not like. I mean, that's fine if that's the way you feel. That's fine. But once again, it's not for me to make a call on what country should support. Like that's above my pay grade. It's above my pay grade. There's a lot more to it than just the way that you might see it. So I mean, that's how I look at things, and it's okay to not agree on things, Aaron. My friend Aaron, I'm calling you a keyboard warrior, and I don't even mean nothing by it because I don't know you. But I don't appreciate you coming in, dropping foul language in my comments because I try to make it clear this is a family environment. I do talk about different things, but I'm not in the nasty stuff like that. And you drop stuff that's gonna live forever in there, and I just, that's just not cool on my side. Like I wasn't saying I'm right. Actually, I think if really, if I wanted to just be like, I think I made it very clear. I was giving my opinion. Like, I don't know exactly what's right. I think there's certain things we can all agree on, but I don't think that I'm necessarily 100% right. It's not the stand I was taking. So, you know, that's a not giving another human being a chance issue, like wanting to find fault in something that I was saying when really, like, I'm not fraud needs to be pointed out. You know what I mean? Protesting is cool. Throwing stuff at people, disrupting the house of worship, no matter what house of worship it is, ain't cool. No matter what. Ain't cool. I don't like that. Doesn't matter to me if you don't like it. Like, I'm cool if you think it's cool, whatever. We don't agree there. But, you know, no, I think the disinformation, my friend, is being so shallow-minded as to think because somebody has a viewpoint that doesn't align with what you think is proper, that somehow that makes them, evil, bad, or supporting this or that. That's terrible. And it's not even like that. It's not even like that. You have no clue where I stand on anything like that, other than what we've talked about this evening. And I feel like I've been pretty fair on the subject. Fraud needs to be stamped out, no matter what. Greenland, I see why that they would want it. I don't know that it's I don't know exactly how to be a part and make sure that we're definitely the ones over securing it, but it is in our hemisphere, and I agree with their concepts. I agree with what they're trying to figure out. I don't know what the fix is. If I did, I guess I'd be working for them. you know? I see your big words and everything, and I mean, I got Google and ChatGPT, and hell, I even got, an encyclopedia in there. But, you know, to put those big labels and just throw that out, I haven't said anything that ain't true. Haven't said anything. Not one thing that ain't true. Because I have give you my 100% God's honest opinion. And that's what this was, right? So you've gotten to be a star for a little while, Aaron. I appreciate your watch time. I appreciate you being here. Thank you, no matter whether you like it or not. As a Canadian, I'd be fine with Trump annexing us, even if he renames us Hat of America. Wonder Bucket, I love it. I love it, Wonder Bucket. Yeah. I see Tim. Hey, Tim, I see you, man. Your name was blending in down there. Good to see you, my brother. Good to see you, man. Uh, shout out to you. I see you, Southern boys. What's up, peeps? Been a while since I've dropped in on a live. Hey, good to see you, Southern boys. Appreciate you, man. We were having a good conversation with our new found friend, and talking about what a terrible person that they think I am, because I have an opinion that differs a little bit from theirs, and we were just trying to work that through. Uh, there comes a point when both sides argument falls apart. The new America right is borderline fascist. It becomes a duty to not tolerate the intolerant. That's some lofty words, and I mean it's well put together, but you got to have borders to be a sovereign nation. With all the crap that came in across our country over the past 4 years, there's a lot of it needs to go. And if you come across the border illegally, it was the game you played coming across. You knew that you were taking a chance that you're going to be getting deported. So, if you don't want to do it right, then I'm sorry. There's some that maybe they should get the chance to stay. But man, in the big scheme of things, in order to be a sovereign nation, then you have to have laws. And there's laws I don't like. I try my best to abide by them, even if I don't really like them. Do my best to abide by them. Um, you know, it's like you can't. It's like you got these guys like this. Like you can't have a conversation about other people when that's where your brain goes. And that's the dude that wants to call other people pedophiles, but yet he's talking about tiny baby wieners. Like any of us care about that. So it's like, they show their true colors. I think we're seeing where this one really falls at, which maybe, just maybe that's one maybe I need to just get rid of you, because I don't like people that talk about child stuff. And you talking about baby wieners, Aaron, that ain't right. So we're just going to ban you. So goodbye. All right. Well, now that we're rid of that, uh, we'll carry on, because once you start talking about that kind of stuff in my comments, you're not welcome here no more. You can have a voice of dissent, uh, but that kind of stuff this thing called for. We don't have to call each other names, and keep them with what I'm about. That has to go, because that's not a reasonable conversation. That's just silly, and that's them wanting to be a keyboard warrior. And we can take that to a certain extent until they start wanting to discuss, you know, children in that kind of way, and we don't put up with that. So we'll just send them packing, rolling on out the door. But man, we appreciate all of them. Look at what watch time they give me to just be a keyboard warrior. You know what I mean? Say dumb stuff in our comments like that. Yeah, they suddenly like guns and I know. I know. Well, we all know that a lot of this stuff is just street performance, guys. It's just street performance, man. This clutching of pearls and all this kind of stuff, we all know that when they start the argument about moralities and everything, man, that's all an opinion anyway. You're not even talking facts at that point. You're talking opinions at that point. Like you start talking, oh, they're not moral in the character of this and the lofty notions of that. Horse crap. Go plagiarize something somewhere else. Come on. We all know better. Those games are done being played. We're not playing that game no more. It's not even about that. It's not even being serious, man. You know? It's like we all know that there's right and there's wrong. And when we start trying to draw silly gray lines in between what is clear right and wrong, then that's when you get this bull crap. And you might be right. Look at here. I mean, you might be right, $1 trillion. You might be right. You have a right to that opinion. I don't know that. I try not to call people things that I don't know that that's what they are. You know? Like you just don't know that. Like it's okay for you not to like somebody. But he is the only one of them, out of all of them, that threw him out of his country club. All the rest of them was beating the door down to hang out with him. So, I mean, it's like, okay. I mean, if that's the way you want to play it, like I'm cool with you feeling that way. But I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. It's like at some point we got to stop with this orange man bad stuff. He's only going to be there another couple of years, guys. Well, you just going to find your next the next person in line and just start the same horse shit over again with them. Come on. Let's get serious. Start looking at numbers. Think for yourself. Be a crit. You got all this information at your fingertips. And that's the best that you can come up with. I mean, that's weak. It's weak-minded. Like you should really know. Like if you want, you go find the information out. And you're not going to find the information that supports that. Get out of your bubble. It's like there's certain things that are just fact. That's why that I personally cannot vote Democrat right now. There is no way, and I'll put you can bring this back whenever you want. And I'm saying it. There's no way that I can vote Democrat right now for the simple reason that I cannot agree with the whole idea behind the not being able to identify between a man and a woman clarity, and that there should be men and women's sports. Now, if you don't agree, that's fine. Like I don't hate you because you don't agree. I'm just telling you that's the way I see it. I'm cool with other people not agreeing with me. Like people need to get used to hearing stuff that does not ring in that isn't just in their bubble thoughts, man. Like, and you're right. You're right. Maybe you are 100% right, $1 trillion. Maybe you're right. Maybe my vote doesn't matter. But as a felon that fought like hell to get my rights back, I'm going to go vote. I'm going to try. Be silly not to. I mean, I try, I mean, you're right. Like we can all do that to each other, Trillion. I can go back and say, well, where were everybody clutching their pearls before he ran for president? All these people that you can name that now call him a racist, a fascist. Like I remember him being in rap songs. I remember him being on talk shows. I remember him being on all the news outlets. Like he was like the man. And then as soon as he started running for president, it's when I started hearing all this other crap. Like if all this other stuff was so important, why wasn't that brought up before? Like that's the only and I'm just saying that not as a defense. I'm not trying to defend him. It's a natural, it's like I'm just asking. I'm almost 49 years old, so I remember how everybody talked about, you know, Trump, and nobody was calling him a racist. Muhammad Ali didn't call him a racist. Rosa Parks didn't call him a racist, right? You know what I mean? Like these people, Oprah didn't call him a racist. It's like, and now all of a sudden he is, and it's like that just is like, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense to me. So I gotta call it. Like, well, where were y'all? Where was all these opinions then? Why was everybody wanting to snuggle up with him then? You know what I'm saying? So none of us were perfect. So I'm not saying that the dude lived any kind. I don't know the dude. He's never going to eat dinner at my house. He's never going to have Thanksgiving supper with me. So I don't give a crap about it like that. I just care about like what's trying to get enacted in like when I look at what I'm voting for, I try to look to see like what's actual like what am I voting for? I don't care about the R and the D as much as I do what is this person trying to what is this about? And it's okay if my viewpoint is different than yours. Maybe you live in a different part of the world than I do. Where I'm from, there's some of these things that's being talked about and you know, said that I don't see it that way. I'm just looking at it from where I sit. I'm not saying that I'm right, not saying that I'm wrong either. I'm just saying that I can see from where I'm at, this is what it looks like to me. And it looks like a lot of this stuff is just talking points, man. Like a lot of this stuff is like, well, where was all these people then? If it's fair for you to ask the question, well, what about this or what about that? It's fair for somebody else to ask that question back. Well, what about this? What about that? You know, like that's fair. And if it rubs the wrong way, well, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that'll, you know, get you thinking about other things because I try myself to look at as many different avenues of what's going on as I possibly can. And when I can, you know, clearly see like there's enough video and information out there, ain't nobody has to, I don't have to take your word on nothing. I could look for myself. I don't have to take your word on nothing. You know what I mean? Like I go find out for myself. It's free to find out. You know, so you know, I wonder, like you know, with all this stuff, there's lots of questions I have on both sides. Well, I mean, I think it's like this. You know, like Lone Wolf, I see you there, and I do see your comment now. I'm back over here looking at it. Um, you know, I don't like it. It doesn't look good, and he was there an awful lot and everything. Um, and apparently they didn't go in for their hearing or subpoena, man, or whatever. So, you know, I don't know what's going on, but that's what I say, man. Like this stuff was in there also, guys, when President Biden was there. So why didn't his people get this crap out? So it's not a it's you can't blame it on one side or the other. It's a both side issue. Why ain't they did like I don't know why they ain't releasing everything. I mean, you're probably right. I don't expect him to love me. Like I don't expect him to love me personally. He don't know me. I'd expect him to do what a president's supposed to do, which is try to do for his people. And just because he might do something differently than what you think is the right way, well, then run for president and you do it the way you see fit. But to just blanket call people, you know, names, like you're right about that. You are probably 100% right. Other than it looks to me like that he probably cares an awful lot about his kids and family because his children sure do seem to look up to him and respect him. So I'm not, but you're right. He don't care about me. He don't know me, but he sure does seem to be doing some stuff for America's favor. Like, you know, so I don't know if it's right. I'm not that smart, but you know, it's not for me to make those big calls. It's for me to look at it from my angle, what works for me and my family. Um, let's see. I see what DRS Poe. I'm sure they're giving me down the road because my opinion's different than theirs. Whenever I hear Gen X talk about politics, it's always so minor. Y'all's generation has been dumbed down by alcoholism and lead exposure. I'm not going to argue with you on that. You are 100% right. Um, and I wish now I would have laid off of the paint chips, but you know, that's the way it works, man. I mean, you're so right. But looking at it from my dumbass point of view, it just looks at it to me like, there's a lot of things that people keep doing those very kinds of things like you're doing, DR. Um, it's like every time there's something said about anything, it's all, well, what about this? Or what about that? Or this one's this, or this one's stupid, or this one's dumb. And it's like, you're probably right. But it still doesn't take away from the fact that there's a lot of crap that's going on. We can both be right. You're probably right. I make no bones about it. I was strung out on dope for a lot of years, done several years in prison for it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not claiming I got all my brain cells. I know I don't. No, I'm in bad shape there. But, that makes me really worry about folks when I'm looking at it with such a weak mind and can see the stuff. And everybody that claims to be so sharp-minded comes back at me with those very kinds of statements like, well, what about this? Or you did this, or you did that, or you guys are this, or you guys are that. And it's like, well, you're still not responding to, well, what do we do about this fraud then? Besides telling me how much you love your neighbors and all this kind of stuff, and that I'm racist for saying that needs to come to a stop. Besides saying that there's other people that's going to get hurt and innocent folks that ain't. What are we going to do about the fraud then? For all the smart ones out there, what do we do about that? You know what I mean? That's what I want to know. That's what I would like to know. Oh, I know. I know, Lone Wolf. I know. It's always back and forth, and it's always like that. It's like, come on, guys, get serious, man. It's like that's always such a way to deflect from like, here you are, you're talking about fraud, and somebody brings up that kind of crap, like that, those kind of things, and it's like, man, what good is that? All right, tell me this: we release all that, now what? Once we release them all, now what? Now what do we do? Go arrest everybody that has a photo with him? I mean, and I'm not being facetious. I'm just being serious. Like seriously, like we've spent all these tax dollars, all this money on this dude that is dead now. And now what? Okay, we released it. And that's my question is like, I ain't got no problem with releasing it. Don't get me wrong. Like I say, let it all fly. But at the same time, okay, now what? Now what? Okay, we release them. Now what do we do? Now what happens? And I don't want to see nobody nobody have to be put out on Front Street. Doesn't I see you, Matt Knight. Can you don't don't do that in my comments, man. Come on, man. You don't know that. You don't know Trump is a pedophile. There's no reason to take the time to even type that kind of crap up. It's just, come on. Let's get beyond that, man. Like, yeah. She left it at the way. Yeah, yeah, you're so right. Hunter Biden paid Lewinsky in cocaine, but she left it at the White House. You're probably so right. That's funny. Oh man. Yeah, I don't care. Hey, you know what, Tree? I don't care. I mean, be a keyboard warrior. What difference does it make to me? You know what I mean? Like, I'm having fun. Like, I find it really fun to like, see how serious people take it because somebody doesn't have an exact opinion of yours. And to try to degrade my moral character that I mean, you don't know me. Let me introduce myself. My name's Guy. Welcome to Creating Change. If you're here typing bad stuff in my comments, you also are giving me watch time. So doesn't that make you foolish? And I appreciate y'all being here. I like to talk about things from the way that I see it, and I try to make it clear that it's my opinion. But I also try to make it clear when I'm talking about facts. And before I talk about things, I try to know what I'm talking about and have the facts and numbers. And I try to keep from calling people's names. So, that is that's the way I come at it. I like to talk about these things because I think hearing others' opinions is important, others' points of view. How else would I be willing to grow and change any at all if I wasn't willing to subject myself to other people's points of view? Well, how many of you are willing to do that? That's willing to blanket call me names or be nasty in my comments to me and not even know me, just take because I don't agree, maybe, or we don't have 100% agreement on something, like maybe we talk sports and agree on everything, you know? Doesn't mean because we disagree, I can't care about your family or care about your life and just hope that you do well. Okay, we don't agree. So what? I never see you at Thanksgiving, so it don't matter. Um, let's see, let me get back down here in the comments again. I'm having fun with this, guys. I appreciate y'all. Hey, I got Tricky Legacy in my comments making fun of how many people I have in my stuff. Well, I'm not in your comments, huh? At least I give you somewhere to type something. Go on. Yeah, that's funny. Uh, stop with the bad language, man. That's the only thing I'll ban you. Like, I don't care if you want to talk crap to me, but if you can't be any more creative with your language than that, then I will just kick you off. I don't mind you saying stuff, but stop with the bad language, man. Like, you don't have to do that. Grow up. Yeah, it doesn't make no sense. First dibs on Greenland Lone Wolf. I see you there. Tricky Legacy, you support the raid in church. No, I absolutely don't. I don't at all. In any type of worship center at that matter. I was saying that earlier in my in the live stream. No. No, I absolutely despise that in any way. That's just not cool. Do you support the attack on Republicans? I don't support attacks on nobody. I don't support that. The left stabbing at peaceful protester Jake Lane. Right. I mean, I don't agree with none of that. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll answer when I get ready. This is my show, Tricky, not yours. See, I answer on my time. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job because I don't owe you no time. Um, I answered the question earlier. Should have been here. I don't agree with none of that crap. None of it. That's no way to get anything done. Just like these protesters. I think it's the biggest waste of time to be out there protesting to these officers and stuff when they're just minions. They just do their job. They're just doing their job. Like, they don't have no set that they're just doing their job. Just like a deli guy out at the Walmart or something. Like, you can't be mad at him because, you know, something in the bread aisle ain't there. He worked well. I mean, he's a deli guy. Like, these people don't get they don't get to make that choice. And that's where I don't mind people protesting. And the protests that I've seen so far that I've kept up with this evening seem to be like legitimate protests. Ain't nobody throwing nothing. Ain't nobody, getting in front of impeding no arrests that I see. So what I've seen, I don't know what else is happening. I'm only going by a couple of these feeds that I've been able to see. But that's the right way. At least they're not, you don't get violent about stuff. It's just not, you don't throw stuff. You don't do that. And you don't attack people in any type of way. That's not the way anything gets done. I don't agree with that on either side. I would and happily call it out. Uh, I answer any question, you know what I mean? But, other than the ones that are like really stupid, which you asked some legitimate questions. So I answered you in a legitimate way. I give you my opinion is that there shouldn't be any type of violence on any side. And if you are there as a nonviolent person, and that starts to happen and it has to get shut down, I apologize that that happened, but be mad at the person that took it too far and got things shut down. Don't be mad at the people that have to bring it to an end, because you have to nip that stuff in the bud. You can't let that kind of crap fester. And it's just like in the penitentiary. I remember I lost more rec time getting to go outside on the rec yard for things that I did not do than I ever did on my own. It was always, well, I can't say it was always, but 99% of the time when I lost my rec time or was being punished by not letting go outside or make a phone call or get my commissary, I didn't have not one thing to do with it, but it sure did teach a lesson all the way around not to do certain things. And, you know, I get it. I didn't like it, but I understood it. And that's just where I'm coming from with all of these people that you call, people refer to them as their leaders. They're your mentor. They're your representatives. Um, but they shouldn't be. Mayors and sheriffs and stuff should not be allowing any type of lawlessness to go on. I don't care what you call your city, sanctuary, or whatever. You just shouldn't be allowing that. And people shouldn't want it. People shouldn't want lawlessness and that kind of crap. That's just not. That's not. It's nowhere for civil society. They have, you have people there that don't want to. They don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with that. But you're right, Tricky Legacy. Shout out to the 5 people I got here, man. But it's 5 more than you got in yours. So let's be honest, right? Can we both agree on that? You know what I'm saying? At least for tonight anyway. But I'm just messing with you like you're messing with me. I don't mean anything by it. I don't care. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. I've been on here with a lot less people. Shout out to all 5 of them. I'm tickled to death and had a pretty good conversation. The only thing I ask is if you want to be on, here and have a conversation with me, let's not call each other names and put foul language in my comments. I don't get down with that. There's no reason. You don't have to put the F word in here to say what you're going to say to me. You don't have to like me. That's cool. You know, I see E Dog, let's see, Red, I missed one. Rec Fat Finger. But when you're putting up signs saying looking for ICE agents, you will only get the worst of the best. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But you also see colleges advertising for doctoral degrees, and then they take people that sign up for it and they give them the training and they weed out the ones that can't make it and or won't do it, and then you have ones that can. Well, that whole talking stiff point about they're not getting the training. I looked all that up. They get the classroom training. A lot of it is done online through the computer, and then their field training is still the same training that the others were receiving. So that truly is from the best that I could find and see for myself independently. That's not true. They're getting just as good a training as any of them have, and most of them are, some type of retired something anyway or been involved in it, so that's just not true. That's a talking point, and, let's see, what did he say? He said, "I don't really like." Man, you know what? I love Mexicans. I don't like illegal immigrants being here. I think you should do it, legally. But I have no problem with Mexicans, man. And I love tacos. Um, you know, but that's I mean, you're welcome to have your feelings on it. I would encourage you not to just dislike a people because of, you know, the fact that they're anything. I would, if you want to dislike an individual, then dislike the individual, but I don't agree with disliking a people or blanket statement, putting people into a box, like, all these people are this or all these people are that, you know, it's just bull crap. You know what I mean? It's bull crap. It's an escape from the real facts. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, guys. We got to get past that. We got to get past just because somebody has an opinion that's different than yours automatically that they're a racist or a fascist or a Nazi or this or that. That's just not true. And that's just not true. And everybody's over that. Nobody even takes it seriously no more. Like nobody even takes that crap. It's like, man, shut up with that. Let's talk about something that really like instead of just saying, well, what about this or what about that? When somebody asks a legit question or calling them a name, why not take a good look at it? And then if you agree, fine. If you don't, fine. But just to call someone, like, oh, they're racist because they are this or that, that you don't know that. You don't a bit more know that than man in the moon. You know, that's a bunch of crap. And just like here in my area, we got the stigma for a long time of being racist in my area here in Southwest Virginia. And that's just totally not even true. Like there ain't nobody like nobody has to worry about walking down our streets. Nobody here where I live at. Nobody. Nobody has to worry, not because of that kind of stuff. Nobody. I can walk anywhere I want to walk, and others can walk anywhere they want to walk, and nobody's going to be coming out to mess with them. And that's just here in my area. But somehow, you get that people have this idea that that's the way, and that's not true. So that's where I'm coming at with that. Like I've heard that said many a times, like like that somehow this is a racist part of the country. That just not. No, it's not. That's a total fallacy. That's a lie. Somebody's feeding you some real disinformation, man. Um, but this has been a great talk, guys. Shout out to everybody out there. All of our friends, always sending good vibes, good thoughts, prayers to everybody. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. Get over yourself. There ain't none of us that important. And I'll get over myself too, so you don't have to type it in there. You don't have to waste your time on that. But I just encourage all of us. Just remember, guys, it takes all of us to make up this here world. Otherwise, if there wasn't some difference in opinion and things being seen a little differently, well, it'd be an awful boring place, and there wouldn't be no change being made. And here creating change, man, I agree with looking and seeing outside the box and trying to see as much of everybody's opinion as I possibly can. But I also believe in taking a stand, because if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. And I take stands on certain things when numbers don't lie, actions don't lie, and I'm sick of this. Don't believe your lying eye stuff. If that's what I see, that's what it is. And that's just the way I handle things. And it's okay for us not to agree on everything. It's cool. It's fine to not understand each other's point of view. That's cool. But just understand that I do pray for you. I pray for your family. I pray that everybody gets to find that peace of mind and their little chunk of happiness, however that's found, before we find the end of our days. Until next time, guys, I appreciate y'all being here, sending prayers out to everybody getting ready to go through the snowstorm. I do hope that everybody stays safe, and if you can, stay off the roads. All of our Greenland friends, guys, I just hope that things work out the best for you and for everybody involved. I don't know what the right thing is, but shout out from your American friend here, just saying howdy. Hope that things get straightened out for you guys, and just sending out support. And as for the fraudsters, man, I hope every one of you get caught. I'm sorry for those that have to get hurt that didn't have nothing to do with it. Don't be mad at the people that's trying to fix it. Be mad at the ones that was stealing from you, and help point them out and get them out of the way. You know what I mean? So, guys, until next time, please hit the like button, subscribe, share. If not, I really don't care, guys. I just appreciate y'all being here. So be kind to each other, man. You ain't got that long. You might as well be nice, man. Y'all have a good one. Just so many miles between us. There can be so many more. Been so long since I've seen you. some I've never seen before. Well, I make a promise to myself, God knows I'll keep. I won't let the miles between us be so long in between. It's worth every rest stop, and Daddy, I need to pee, so my son can be around the ones that mean so much to me. Well, I want him to know you and love you all just like me. I won't let the miles between us be so long in between. As the miles go by, my mind begins to go to the memories I've made from so many years ago. And I make a promise to myself, God knows I'll keep. I won't let the miles between us be so long in between. It's worth every rest stop, and Daddy, I need to be, so my son can be around the ones that mean so much to me. Well, I want him to know you and love you all just like me. I won't let the miles between us be so long in between. I won't let the miles between us be so long in